We're with Tiki Barber, New York Football Giants Tiki Barber. Man,
Appreciate
that must have been great. I appreciate you, too, as well, Tiki. Although I lost a lot of money on you betting on the Giants way back in the day, which is why I have to do this commercial. I'm just kidding. We're talking about a product that I find it's really a good thing to make a regular routine, a regular part of your diet. It's Cholesterade, and this is clinically proven to reduce your cholesterol. As you get older, and for some younger people, depending on a lot of factors, including your heritage, let's say, and your DNA, your genes, you have to go to the doctor and they start monitoring your cholesterol. Some people monitor it a lot earlier in their life if they have a family history of cardiac problems. For me, it started around in my 40s. I noticed my cholesterol was a little high, and they decided to try to put me on statins. I got really bad reactions from that. It made my muscles hurt, and I just wanted to get off it right away. Luckily, we have this product like Cholesterade. What's your take on healthy alternatives as opposed to taking a medication like statins?
Yeah, so let me back up to my playing days. I mean, I was in peak physical condition when I was playing, and I remember getting a blood test because we did that every year for our physical, and I had to go see a nutritionist after they looked at the results, and it was because I had high blood pressure and high cholesterol. And I'm looking at myself saying, wait, what are you talking about? I'm as strong and as fit as anybody could imagine. But it turned out I had a family history of high blood pressure and high cholesterol. My mom has it. My dad has it. And so no matter what I was doing diet-wise, it was continually high, mainly because I had to eat so much to keep on 215 pounds of muscle to be a football player. And so when I retired, I really had to be conscious about what I put into my body. Interestingly, I was also told I should probably take a statin. And I've always resisted medication like that because it feels unnatural to me. And so when I heard about this product that can naturally lower my cholesterol, lower my risk of heart disease and other types of conditions that come from having high cholesterol, I jumped on it. Has a lot of fiber in this, so it keeps you regular. It makes you feel good. And actually, interesting, it tastes good. You know, sometimes you see these things and you wonder what it's going to taste like. This one actually tastes really good. In fact, my kids even like having this.
I was just going to ask you if your kids took it. Now, once your kids are taking it, cholesterol really isn't a problem because they're taking it on a regular basis, so they make it part of their daily regime, so to speak. I noticed that there's a higher incidence in cardiovascular disease as well as high blood pressure and cholesterol levels in the African-American community.
Yeah.
Why don't you talk a little bit about that and what your hope is moving forward?
Yeah, I think some of it is just genetic. It's simply the different makeup of African-Americans. But a lot of it, Zach, is diet.
That's right.
It's the fatty foods that we eat in the South. It's the things that taste amazing, the chitlins and the fried foods and things that you crave when you go home. But it also has led to an obesity epidemic in some parts of this country, and that's not just African American, but it particularly infects some African American communities. And so, I think providing an alternative, or not even an alternative, a supplement that tastes good, that is good for you, adds fiber as opposed to other types of fatty supplements into their diet, is a great alternative for them. And so, my hope by getting the word out on cholesterol is that here's something that is easy to ingest, it tastes good, and it's going to be good for you. And in fact, if you make it a regular part of your routine, those high cholesterol numbers, the high blood pressures that may affect you or your family will naturally go down. You don't have to artificially try to bring it down.
I also think that it helps your mental health as well. And what I mean by that is, if you don't know that you have high blood pressure, for an example, you're going to fly off the handle a lot. You'll find yourself to be grumpy and little things that bother you, you get angry. Point. When you start to lower that blood pressure,
you feel better. You feel better.
So, even when you have a regular BM, as Grandma used to say, you feel better.
True.
And when you use the cholesterol and it gives you the extra fiber you need, believe me, you're going to feel so much better. You'll be less grumpy.
Well, think about what our intestines are. Like we had like
you're an interesting person.
You know what I mean.
Yeah,
but
I know.
You think back in high school when we were taking phys ed or looking at our bodies on the scales, and look how big your intestines is.
Exactly.
It's enormous.
It's a lot. It's like 4 miles of stuff going on there.
Exactly. And so if that gets compacted or backed up, it's going to hurt. Like physically, it's going to hurt, and it's going to make you feel off.
And yeah, when you think about all the things that are part of the American diet, let's talk about that. The processed foods and stuff that we really shouldn't be eating from the get-go because we really weren't designed as human beings to ingest those things. And I don't want to mention them by name because, people will get offended. But you just got to be smart, And here's the other interesting thing for me when I think about cardiac health. My grandfather died at the age of 57 when I was 4 years old. I have never gotten over it.
Yeah.
So if you're in your 40s and 50s and even younger and you have children, you really have to take better care of yourself. You really need to go to see a doctor on a regular basis. You need to monitor your cholesterol, all your blood work, your chemistry, your triglycerides, all of that stuff. And you just got to take effort. Losing weight, staying in shape, or getting in shape is work.
It's a commitment.
It really is.
It's something that you put your mind to, and you can do it, and it's easy as soon as you get into a routine. The hardest thing is starting, is getting into that routine. And you talk about, your family. When I used to go to the doctor, I have 6 kids, Zach, my doctors would tell me, you have 6 kids. You don't want to leave them, too
without
early.
a father,
right? You want to see them grow up.
That's right.
So taking care of yourself is of paramount importance, obviously for yourself, but think about the loved ones that are counting on you to be around. And so I've been hyper focused, especially post my NFL career, on what I'm putting into my body. What everything in moderation, right? Including moderation sometimes, but you know what I mean? Focus on what you're eating. And as soon as you become conscious of what you're putting into your body, it becomes really easy not to do the bad things and not to eat the fatty foods or the processed foods or things that are going to bog you down.
Right.
And I think the most important thing, and most people don't do this, and until I was told this, I didn't think about it. Listen to what your body says to you. So it doesn't matter what you're eating for breakfast or for lunch or for dinner. If you have a meal, just for 10 minutes, listen to how your body reacts to what you eat. And then you can tell what works for you and what doesn't.
And I'll tell you what works for me. Now, I have a bit of a different problem with my size, okay? I'm 6'4". I guess my playing weight at one time would have been 248.
You would have been a guard.
Well,
you would have been like 320.
maybe at least a guard in today's modern era. Now, when I'm standing next to the old football players from the 70s, I tower over these guys.
That's a good point.
They're like, I won't even mention some of them. Oh, you would have made a great lineman back in the day. I go, I would have not wanted to play for the Giants in 77 because you guys are really bad.
They were.
And you probably almost got killed
in
the field.
But they weren't far from turning a corner with George Young.
Yeah, later on. Yeah, George Young was the difference maker for them. But yeah, we're talking football. Wow, and cholesterol. But the guys that have to play linemen when you're in high school as well as college level and like, hey, the United States Army and the military academy, they have to have them big.
That's right.
Right? Which means that you really have to consume a lot of calories.
6, 7, maybe sometimes
8,000 calories a day to be able to build that muscle. And so then when you're done with your playing days, it's very difficult to stop eating at that level.
Yeah, change your dietary habits.
Right.
It's hard.
Especially the bigger linemen.
Yeah. Some guys don't do it. You see it. It's an anomaly. You see every now and then these guys go from 330 pounds and you see them like 3 years later and they're 210 pounds.
Yeah.
They look svelte. Some
guys
guys are running marathons. It's amazing.
David Deal looks great.
You're right.
Yeah.
But the majority of them don't. They go the other way because they continue to consume like they did when they were playing. It's just what they're used to. And it's ultimately detrimental to their health and to their heart.
And I was going to say the longevity of some of these former linemen is not good. So
right.
The reason why I'm bringing it up, it doesn't matter where you are right now. It's time to take some action. And I could tell you, you've seen me lose about 100 pounds since you met me. And here's the trick. I do use Cholesterade, which reduces the appetite because it's got the fiber in it. But beyond all of that, beyond whatever you might take, whether it's Cholesterade or your supplements or drinking plenty of water, just eat half. That's it. That's the simple thing. Eat half.
You know what else you could do, Zach?
What's that?
Eat slowly.
Eat slowly. I do
slowly. Eat slowly. And walk.
And
to
I
me,
do
walking turned into running, and now I do marathons
let's
over
not
and
go
over
crazy.
and over.
You're not going to see.
You're gonna do. I'm going to have you doing a marathon before it's all said and done. You're gonna be doing
I'll tell you what. If we sell $1 billion worth of Cholesterade, I will do the marathon.
I'm
with
holding you to that, dude. I'm serious.